Price ceilings. Markets and prices often work well to coordinate economic activity and to make goods and services available at reasonable prices. But sometimes it seems that markets fail to deliver. Prices may seem unreasonably high, as in the case of many pharmaceuticals or other parts of the healthcare system, or goods may simply be unavailable, as in modest and affordable housing in some areas. In cases where affordability is a central concern, a common response is for government to impose a price ceiling in a particular market. This type of economic regulation is exactly what it sounds like, a prohibition on charging more than the specified price ceiling. To understand possible effects of price ceilings, we start by illustrating the price ceiling in our basic supply and demand framework. We start with our demand curve and a supply curve. We illustrate the price ceiling by showing a particular price level, which by regulation producers are not allowed to charge above. To go further, we need to specify the market structure. That is, what are the competitive conditions? If it is a purely competitive market, then we'll find one set of results. But if there is market power and it is a monopolistic market where sellers have greater power in the marketplace, we'll see a different set of outcomes. With a competitive marketplace, let's start again with our standard setup, price and quantity axes. Let's add in our demand curve and an upward sloping supply curve. And let's add in our location for our price ceiling. In this case now, we know that the quantity that suppliers want to offer for sale in this marketplace is determined by the maximum price at which they can sell the good. So it will be the intersection of the supply curve and the price ceiling. So that will be quantity supplied. Buyers will have a different reaction in this market. They will see this low price of the price ceiling as an opportunity to purchase all the way out to where the price ceiling intersects with the demand curve, leading to a quantity demanded, or the quantity that people wish to purchase in this market, exceeding that of the quantity that is supplied. What we call this is a shortage, because the quantity that is offered for sale is less than the quantity that people want to buy. Another way of looking at this outcome is to ask, how does this differ from what we would have had without the price ceiling in place? Well, starting from the supply and demand curve, the original price without a price ceiling would have been given by, I'll say, P sub C to indicate that that's the price with competitive market conditions. And we can also draw in the quantity that we would have with competitive market conditions. So what has happened now is the price ceiling has reduced the amount that sellers wish to produce and sell, but it's increased the amount that people wish to buy. The result is a shortage in this marketplace, but at the same time, those who are able to obtain the good are able to get it for a much more affordable price. Turning now to a monopolistic market structure, we'll set up our basic framework, price and quantity axes, downward sloping demand curve for the buyers, upward sloping supply curve representing the costs for the sellers. It's useful now to start with the market outcome we would have in the absence of a price ceiling. Because this is a monopolistic market, the sellers will have the ability to set price above their costs. Moving from the demand curve then down to the quantity axis, We can label the price that is set by the sellers, the quantity that is then purchased by buyers at that price determined by the sellers. In this case now, to make the good more affordable, we're going to set the price ceiling under the price that would otherwise be charged. Let's show this on the graph. The good is now more affordable, allowing buyers to purchase more in the marketplace, which we show by going from the demand curve and the price ceiling down to the axis for the new quantity demanded. The sellers will now find that given the price ceiling, the very best that they can do is to sell to every single buyer. That's how they're going to maximize their profit now. And the quantity that they wish to supply is the same thing as the quantity demanded. The result is that we have an increase in the quantity that is produced in this marketplace, and we also have a reduction in the price that is charged in this marketplace. If prices are initially set in a competitive market, a price ceiling will generally lower price, but it will cause a shortage, meaning not everyone who wants the good can find a way to buy it. Less is produced, even as quantity demanded increases, and there's no access for some due to the shortage. If market prices would be determined by a monopolistic market initially, a price ceiling now will not only lower price, but if not set too low, will actually increase the amount of the good or service which is sold. This is almost certainly the case with, for example, utilities such as electricity. If the price is set too low, however, it may also cause a shortage, meaning not everyone who wants the good can find a way to buy it.